everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Apologies for us being out for a while. I got sick. That's the short of it. Won't go too much detail. But we do want to talk about Spencer Rattler being named QB1, whether we think that's a good decision, bad decision, indifferent decision. Honestly, just going into that a little bit of detail. I think y'all have opinions as well. And then what we'll do from there is, well, we'll leave the floor open. But welcome, Elias. It's good to see you, man. It's been about a month. Apologies for it being so long, but it is really good to see you. How are you doing?
Pretty pleasant, man. It's nice to see things that I thought come to fruition.
Yeah.
In a timely manner. So, yeah, I'm good.
Nice, man.
So, how did you really feel about the choice?
I'll be honest, like, it's going to feel like a cop-out, and I promise I'm not trying to say this is like a cop-out answer. I don't feel like there was a wrong choice for New Orleans. I think the advantages of Spencer Rattler, he obviously has more experience in the NFL. And people are going to debate who are on like the Shuck side of things, like, oh, well, that's losing experience. He wasn't very good. And I'll agree that a lot of his tape last year wasn't good. At the same time, there is something to be said about NFL experience. And I'll be honest, I'd be a huge hypocrite if I came out here screaming for Shuck, because what have I said on Dat Confessional for 10 years? I don't like rookie quarterbacks starting week 1 of the season. I've said that pretty consistently for a long time. So, like, I think there's an advantage to Shuck not being the day one guy. There is an advantage to experience. And there are things that I believe Rattler is better at. He is better in the scramble drill, right? When things break down, he needs to go out and make something. He is better than Shuck at that. He is currently better than Shuck, maybe not by a lot, when it comes to handling pocket pressure and pocket movement. And that comes back to a little bit of that experience. Now, there are things I believe Shuck is better at. Shuck has way better ball placement based off just us previewing it here in preseason. And look, that's something that we talked about. We wanted to see from Rattler. We needed to see his mechanics improve so that he would have better instances. And the number one thing that a lot of players are going, or a lot of fans are going to immediately point to, that missed Rashid Shaheed pass here in the preseason that would have been a touchdown. That was clearly behind him, off target, and that comes back in that whole accuracy versus ball placement. Shuck has the nod there. When it comes to pre-snap reads of defenses, I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed with some of the adjustments that you saw Shuck make in terms of identifying the nickel, getting them to buy into things so that he could get them out of the way and throw certain passes. I thought Shuck showed a lot of good things. But at the same time, he's a rookie. He's definitely not a top-end talent coming in terms of he's ready to go right now. I don't think it's a bad answer to go with Rattler. What do you think?
I think smart organizations like the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Packers, they understand that this is a developmental league. You have to develop players. Only terrible teams start rookie quarterback because they're forced to. Shuck is far from a finished product. He's got tools in the toolbox, but he's not someone that you're going to throw in the deep end of the pool and expect him to swim without him kind of splashing aimlessly for a while, and then you have to go back in and save him. The biggest issue with Shuck right now, and you can see it, he's still got panic in his game. That intentional grounding, that oh shit moment that he had, that's panic. Try to sell that to a locker room that can also see that, and you're saying, hey, we're going to start this guy day one and let him figure it out. Spencer Rattler is not figuring out who he is and what he can do in the league. He kind of is who he is at this point, and that has its own upside. Let Shuck take some time. I am convinced that most Saints fans would grab a bowl of gumbo and eat it with uncooked rice because they can't wait for it to finish. Let the kids sit and just develop for a while.
Yeah.
Don't be so famished. Don't be so thirsty. Wait for a minute, because sitting behind and holding a clipboard is only going to help him. It's not going to hinder him at all. You have 4 former quarterbacks on the coaching staff. If they're going to be good in anything, it's going to be developing the quarterback. Give him some time to develop.
That's one of the things Kellen Moore said, is that it was important for them to develop quarterbacks in what he said is the right way. And I think a part of that is not rushing guys in. And again, and when I say not rushing it in, because I'll be very clear, I am not so into Shuck that I believe this is all just like, oh, Rattler's going to have 6 games look terrible, and then it's just a guarantee Shuck has it. if anything, I hope Rattler has taken this entire episode, put a chip on his shoulder, and he truly is going to use it to better himself and become a better player, right? So I also don't want to write off Rattler. Do I believe Shuck has shown some better long-term traits? Sure. But at the same time, Rattler is also a guy who at one point was touted as one of the top quarterbacks in his class. And he has traits that you can want to develop. And Kellen Moore has to. Now, we can argue all day and long about how neither of them are maybe the best picks and everybody wants to tank for Archie and all this other stuff. But kind of what you just said, that's what bad teams do. Bad teams tank. Bad teams are starting rookie quarterbacks just praying they find something. And that's not what I want to see New Orleans do. I want to see New Orleans rebuild their offensive line, make it something consistent, which is what they're doing. I want to see them slowly trying to find, and I know we hate the idea of slowly, but I want them to find something that will work and benefit this team long term. And that doesn't mean that I think Rattler's coming in week one and surprising everybody. To be honest, it's very possible. We'll talk about this in another episode that the Saints start off like 0-4. It's very possible. I think week one is a winnable game, even though Vegas being disrespectful. The line was -2.5, I think. And then when Rattler got announced as a starter, they moved it to 6.5. So a little disrespect from Vegas right there on Spencer Rattler. But at the same time, like, Arizona is not currently a good team either, right? So let both of these guys get what is best for them. I think Rattler, who has had an NFL offseason and NFL starts, the clipboard isn't good for him. So if you do really want to develop him, his development at this point comes on the field. Can he make in-game improvements, in-game adjustments? Shuck, at this point, his development comes running the practice squad and getting the one-on-one, which is what Kellen Moore was saying, is that the coaching staff is going to give him one-on-one development time during the week. That's how he progresses. It's the right choice in terms of what's best for both of their development. Is it the right choice for what wins the most games? I said on X that I believe if I just had to pick who gives me the best chance to win a game, maybe Shuck. I would probably lean a little bit him there. But in terms of what's best for New Orleans, I think it's probably the obvious choice.
There's two things about Rattler. One, life has a history of repeating itself. And this situation reminds me of Rattler's Oklahoma days. He's got a bigger, faster, stronger, more toolsy quarterback that's just sitting behind him. And it's almost like it's inevitable before he's overtaken. Now, the same thing about life is you also get an opportunity to overcome a lot of obstacles. So there's a chance for Rattler to kind of stave him off for a while. And prove that he's able to overcome the circumstances. The second thing about Rattler, and I think is the difference and why I think Shuck has the higher upside, is Rattler is a see it, throw it quarterback, kind of like Jay Cutler. I think you can see very clearly that on the other end, Shuck very much has anticipatory qualities as the quarterback. He can throw to spots. I think that's something that Rattler needs to work on, along with the ball location, where he does tend to throw it behind him at times. But I don't think there is a rush to force the situation because this is a winnable division. It's really that simple. The team around Rattler, the Saints, finished DVOA about, they should have been like a top 16 team. They got lucky and picked 9th or 10th, whatever it was, but they were technically a better team than they showed. They got hurt with injuries. They can have a healthier team around Rattler. They should be able to win more than 5 games. I know people are thinking that they can't, but this is a division where you can beat each team in the division at least once.
Yeah.
And I'd argue Atlanta and Carolina, you can sweep. Yeah. So as long as you can win the division, even if it's an 8-9 record or 8-10 record, you could probably get the division with an 8-10 record and make the playoffs. Let him sit. It's a winnable division.
I'm not willing to go out and give that many wins yet. I do agree with what you're saying. I think it's fun. I think that this team could win the division and have a losing record. And I think that can be said for anybody in this division. And I know a lot of people are still kind of high on the Bucs with what they have, and I think that's fair if you are still high on the Bucs. I feel like the NFC South is the worst division in NFL right now. And like I said, it's an opportunity for both of them. I do want to say one thing, though. Like, I truly want Spencer Rattler to have success. I don't want him to fail. And one thing, and if this doesn't apply to you, don't get offended. And if you get offended, maybe this is your wake-up call. But one thing I've noticed about Saints social media, I'm not calling out Saints Report, X, Reddit, Facebook, anybody directly, because I'll be honest, I think it's everywhere. One problem I've noticed is so much of the fan base, now that the glory days of Drew and Sean are gone, has become these little cliques of like, you're Rattler no matter what, you're Shuck no matter what. Guys and gals, it's supposed to be the fleur-de-lis. Like, I'm not going to root for Rattler to suck just because I thought Shuck's a slightly better quarterback. We need to get back to the days we're rooting for the team, not for individuals to supersede and have success because that's our guy. And again, I'm trying to say is lovingly, but it really sucks to see everybody fighting over what I believe is kind of silly stuff. Think about what you're doing, guys and gals. You're arguing over second and fifth round picks as if we're arguing, Mahomes versus P. Manning in their primes and stuff. It's not what's happening. Now, can either of these guys develop? Sure. But let me tell you, you're not watching high-end quality young quarterback play this preseason. And if you thought you were, then you need to take a step back and go look at what high-end quality quarterback play from out of college looks like. You've got two very developmental guys. And I want to get everybody back on the same page. Let's stop fighting over whether Shuck or Rattler are better and start worrying about, can the Saints win games and what's good about the Saints? What is going to lead them to be successful? And in the same vein, if you are out there saying, hey, you believe Tyler Shuck's going to be the future of this team, cool. Please root for Rattler right now, because I promise you, there's plenty of things that Shuck needs to get better at, including how he anticipates pocket pressure and how he deals with it, because you're completely right. I love how he operates tight window throws, anticipatory throws, even has better touch passes than the Rattler, because Rattler is in very similar mold to a smaller Taysom Hill, where that dude wants to throw missiles everywhere, all the time. Every pass is a heat-seeking missile, even if it's not a very well-placed one. He doesn't throw with a lot of touch on his passes. And then when he tries, a lot of times they'll come out high because, as we've said, his lower body mechanics aren't that great. But let's get back to loving this team for being the team. Final words, Elias?
Yeah, you were nice about it. I think Saints fans are a bunch of low IQ, emotional people that don't think logically. And those are the people that are flooding with the comments and the narratives that are incorrectly formulated. And then they pass those narratives over to other people that actually believe them. And then you end up with a bunch of people who are going off of improper narratives and developing an opinion and then spewing that opinion to other people. Fan base needs to smarten up. Stop being crybabies.
Fair enough. That was definitely the less nice, but still equally true. We love y'all. Who dat? God bless. We'll have a bigger, deeper episode coming soon. But we're back. It's good to see y'all.
Yeah.